In the vast deserts of Arabia, where endless sand meets an infinite sky, a story began that would reshape the fate of nations, empires, and civilizations. 14 centuries ago, the world stood divided, fractured by tribal wars, oppressive kingdoms, and spiritual confusion. It was an age where power belonged to the few, and the many lived without justice, unity, or purpose. Out of this silence, from a valley surrounded by rugged mountains, a voice rose that would carry across continents. It came from a man who sought neither power nor glory, a man known among his people only as Al-Amin, the trustworthy. His name was Muhammad. Born into the Quraysh tribe in Mecca around 570 CE, Muhammad grew up in a society governed by tribal loyalty, ancient customs, and the worship of idols placed around the Kaaba. Though Mecca prospered through trade, its spiritual emptiness weighed heavily on him. He often retreated to the cave of Hira, seeking clarity, truth, and a deeper meaning beyond the world he observed. At the age of 40, during one of his meditations, the angel Gabriel appeared to him with a message that would ignite a revolution of faith. "Read," the angel commanded, delivering the first verses of what would become the Holy Quran. This moment marked the beginning of Islam, a faith built on the principles of monotheism, justice, compassion, and submission to one God. Muhammad's message challenged the foundations of Meccan society. It called for equality where elites reigned, compassion where cruelty thrived, and unity where tribal conflict dominated. His followers grew slowly but steadily, drawn by the simplicity and truth of his message, but the leaders of Mecca felt threatened. Persecution followed. Early Muslims were tortured, beaten, starved, and exiled. Muhammad himself faced constant danger, yet he never retaliated with violence. Instead, he preached patience, resilience, and faith in the unity of God. When persecution reached its peak, Muhammad instructed his followers to migrate to Abyssinia, where a Christian king granted them protection. This moment was a powerful symbol of interfaith respect. Eventually, in 622 CE, Muhammad and his closest companion, Abu Bakr, secretly fled Mecca to the oasis town of Yathrib, later known as Medina. This migration, the Hijra, marked the beginning of the Islamic calendar. In Medina, Muhammad established the first Islamic state based on equality, justice, and shared responsibility. The Constitution of Medina unified diverse tribes, including Muslims, Jews, and pagans, creating a society built upon coexistence and mutual protection. Islam grew rapidly, but Mecca's leaders continued to fight the Muslim community. Major battles followed. Badr, where the vastly outnumbered Muslims achieved a miraculous victory, Uhud, where mistakes cost many lives, and the Battle of the Trench, where strategy and unity protected Medina from siege. Despite hardship, Islam continued to spread, winning hearts not through force, but through its promise of justice, dignity, and spiritual fulfillment. In 630 CE, after years of conflict, Muhammad returned to Mecca not as a conqueror, but as a peacemaker. Without shedding blood, he forgave his enemies, cleansed the Kaaba of idols, and restored it as the house of the one God. His forgiveness became one of history's greatest examples of mercy. By the time Muhammad passed away in 632 CE, Islam had transformed Arabia. Tribes once locked in endless war stood united as one community under God. After his death, leadership passed to the Rashidun caliphs, Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, and Ali. Under their guidance, Islam expanded beyond Arabia into Persia, the Levant, Egypt, and North Africa. This rapid expansion was not fueled by conquest alone. It rose from the people's desire for justice, lower taxes, and freedom from corrupt empires. Muslims introduced systems of governance that emphasized fairness, public welfare, and religious freedom. Jews and Christians were granted protection, known as people of the book, and allowed to practice their faith under a system of mutual respect. During the Umayyad dynasty, Islam spread westward across North Africa and into Spain, Al-Andalus, while also stretching eastward into Central Asia and India. Cities became centers of learning, trade, and culture. In Spain, Muslims, Christians, and Jews worked together, sparking one of the greatest intellectual periods in European history. Architecture flourished, mathematics reached new heights, and medicine advanced beyond anything previously known. The Abbasid dynasty brought what many call the Golden Age of Islam. From the capital city of Baghdad, scholars translated ancient Greek, Persian, and Indian knowledge into Arabic, preserving works that might have been lost forever. Scientists like Al-Khwarizmi gave the world algebra. Ibn Sina revolutionized medicine. Al-Biruni explored astronomy and geography with unparalleled precision. Libraries, observatories, and universities such as the House of Wisdom became beacons of knowledge. Muslim thinkers introduced the scientific method, rewrote the rules of mathematics, and changed the course of human understanding. At its height, the Islamic world stretched from Spain to China, a realm connected through trade, scholarship, and a shared belief in one God. This age of knowledge shaped the Renaissance and laid foundations for modern science, engineering, and philosophy. While Europe struggled through the Dark Ages, Islamic civilization illuminated the world. The rise of the Seljuks, Mamluks, and Ottomans further defined Islamic history. The Turks embraced Islam and established vast empires, with the Ottoman Empire becoming one of the most powerful civilizations in history. Istanbul, once Constantinople, became a bridge between East and West. The Ottomans built mosques that touched the sky, legal systems that maintained order, and markets that linked continents. Under Suleiman the Magnificent, law, art, and architecture achieved extraordinary heights. The empire protected Islamic holy sites and played a central role in global politics for centuries. In South Asia, Islam flourished through the Delhi Sultanate and later the Mughal Empire. The Mughals fused Persian art, Indian culture, and Islamic spirituality to create masterpieces like the Taj Mahal. Literature, poetry, and architecture thrived, and the subcontinent became a land of immense cultural diversity shaped by Muslim influence. Throughout Africa, Islam spread through trade rather than conquest. Kingdoms such as Mali embraced the faith, with leaders like Mansa Musa promoting education and building mosques, libraries, and universities. Timbuktu became a center of learning, where thousands of manuscripts were written and preserved. But history is never static. Colonization, internal conflict, and geopolitical struggles weakened the Islamic world. European powers used technology, strategy, and manipulation to divide Muslim empires. The Ottoman Empire collapsed after World War I. Borders were redrawn once again, sometimes without regard for culture or history. The Middle East entered a new era marked by struggle, aspiration, and the desire for unity. Despite these challenges, the Islamic world continues to shape global civilization. More than 1.9 billion Muslims now follow the message that began in a quiet cave in Arabia. Islam influences art, architecture, science, ethics, and culture in every corner of the earth. Mosques stand in every major city. Scholars continue to contribute to every field. And millions memorize the Quran, preserving a tradition of knowledge and devotion that has lasted 14 centuries. Islam's story is not just a story of conquests or empires. It is a story of faith, resilience, knowledge, and unity. A story born in the heart of a man who sought truth in the silence of a mountain cave and carried across continents by believers who transformed the world with the power of their conviction. It is a story still unfolding, still alive, still shaping the destiny of humanity. From the sands of Arabia to the skylines of modern cities, the message remains the same. God is one, humanity is one, and justice is the duty of all.